Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Good morning, I'm Storm Track 7 meteorologist Kyle Keel. Threat tracker in the green today. It is going to be the literal calm before the winter storm. We are highlighting tomorrow and Wednesday in the purple as we are tracking a pretty high impact winter storm that will affect all of us here in eastern Iowa. Your storm meter is in the plan now phase as we are tracking that winter storm with those watches and warnings in place. We're still about 24 to 36 hours out from any of that snow starting. But once it does start, it will create some pretty hazardous travel. We do have winter storm watches and warnings in effect. Our western counties, including Waterloo and Tama, our western hometowns, that's where we do have winter storm warnings. That's where the snow will start early in the afternoon, and then as the afternoon progresses, it will track to the east. So there's a lot of colors on the map, but the message is the same. We will have tricky travel here late Tuesday into Tuesday evening and Wednesday. For today, as I mentioned, it is the calm before the storm. We will have decreasing clouds and temperatures mid-20s to low 30s. We'll keep that west-northwest wind at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's a check of future track. We're going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, so your Tuesday morning commute looking good. We will have an overcast sky. Now, as we head toward the early afternoon between noon and 2, we are going to start to see some of our western counties get in on some of that snow. It's going to start off light, but as this snow increases across eastern Iowa and becomes a little more widespread, we'll start to see some moderate and heavy bands of snow set up here just in time for that evening commute. So late afternoon into the evening hours on Tuesday, travel is going to be very difficult here across eastern Iowa. Not only are we talking about the snow, but we also have to keep in mind the wind is going to pick up as well. Well, southeast winds 15 to 25 miles per hour, so that's going to blow this snow around and reduce visibility. This is going to be a pretty wet snow as temperatures will average in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees. As we head through Tuesday night, the snow is going to continue. South of Interstate 80, we're going to start to see a little bit of a wintry mix. We're talking maybe a little sleet or freezing rain, maybe a mixture of both. So that could cut down on totals just a little bit to the south. If this continues to track farther to the south, we might end up with colder air. And that could lead to a little more snow. So there's still some details to kind of fine tune as we head throughout the day. Our storm system as of 7 o'clock here Monday morning is still about 1,500 miles away. But as that moves onshore in the western United States, we should get a better idea of how the system will play out. As we head into Wednesday morning, most of the widespread snow and wintry mix will be done with. Might be some patchy freezing drizzle or flurries, but our snowfall forecast shows a lot of snow that's going to be on the ground. A pretty good chunk of eastern Iowa, pretty widespread chunk, I should say, in that 6 to 9 inch range. That's that dark blue shading. There could be some locally higher amounts within this. It's very hard to pinpoint exactly where that heavier bands, the heavier bands of snow rather, are going to set up. Farther south and farther north, we will see 3 to 6 inches. Again, we should be able to fine tune this forecast a little more, maybe get into a little more detail with snowfall totals. But right now, this looks like a pretty good bet for at least a half foot across many of our hometowns here in eastern Iowa. Your Storm Track 7 city-by-city forecast shows that temperatures are going to be in the upper 20s to low 30s here on Tuesday. This is going to be a very wet snow, lots of moisture available, so it's going to be a heavier snow. So you'll certainly want to keep that in mind if you have to shovel. If you have a snowblower, might want to make sure that's gassed up because that will certainly come in handy here late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. As we head into Wednesday, again, that wintry mix will wrap up early in the day. Then we'll be left with some sunshine in the afternoon, but temperatures will be falling as we'll have that blustery northwest wind. New Year's Eve will be dry and cold with temperatures in the teens. Overnight lows will be in the single digits with that fresh snowpack on the ground. Might even be a little bit colder depending on how much snow falls. So stay tuned for continued updates on those temperatures. New Year's Day, we are still tracking the potential for some snow. There could be some accumulation out of that, so that will be a system to watch. And then as we head toward the weekend and early next week, we'll start to see moderating temperatures and mainly dry conditions.